Okay, so I've chosen to do my lesson plan on a physical education level. So it's a Year 12 VCE level PE class. So I've chosen to differentiate the lesson plan for an ADHD student. So my make-believe class has 10 males and 6 females, and it's a pretty restless class and it needs a lot of hands-on activities to be incorporated. So one student in the class has ADHD and must be separated from two of the boys to avoid any confrontation. So I would either make a different worksheet for him or make sure that the class set of worksheet has small pictures and graphics demonstrating the fitness components. So the lesson is on fitness components. He could work through the fitness components by himself or with two of the girls he works well with. So the literature says that visual aid helps ADHD students engage, and also I've got seating arrangements, so make sure the student with ADHD is seated at the front of the class to minimise any distractions of other classmates. So another strategy I would incorporate in the class would be to reinforce the importance of rules and have students read them aloud at the beginning of the lesson. So I would have a student engagement and management plan. I could have a hard copy of these rules and I can put them up on the board at the start of each lesson and just make sure all students are aware of it. So this is just my education rationale. Learner objectives, so this is from the study design, VCE PE study design. So my objectives, so teach the fitness components, meet the required knowledge and curriculum, and classroom management would be a huge factor for me. So allow breaks for the ADHD students so they can stay on task. So drink breaks, toilet breaks, just so they can keep focused. And I need to make sure that they don't move on to the next task until they've finished the one that they're on. So evaluation, so informative assessment, so question answer evaluation at the end of the lesson. Formative, so just feedback from their worksheet, and then an exit slip. So an exit slip I used in placement. Students had to write down 1 or 2 things they learnt within that class for them to leave. A good strategy that I had and I saw on placement was a work card. So the ADHD student could have a work card and can self-assess their behaviour in the class at the end, so they can sit down with me and we can go through each section together. So 1 could be poor, 3 can be fantastic, and the card could just be on punctuality, working with others and staying on tasks. So the ADHD student has the choice of having a quick discussion at the end of the lesson or making an exit slip as well. So just through the lesson, make sure the ADHD student is seated at the front of the class. So quick introduction and test prior knowledge, and just reflect on the past classes and get the students thinking and considering what fitness components are and how they are relevant to sports. So I'd use a PowerPoint to introduce the fitness components and have a handout. So the handout would have blanks, so they have to copy the information from the PowerPoint into the worksheet. Also, I would then, once I run through that, get them out of their seats and go through the fitness components. So I'd go down to the gymnasium and set up a circuit with each fitness component. So at first I would demonstrate each component, and then I'd allow the students to go through each component at their own pace. So the ADHD student then has the opportunity to work through each component at their own pace. So all students have the opportunity to work individually or within a group. And then to finish the lesson, summarise class, discuss what we'll be doing next lesson, quick them and get them to name the fitness components, and then to create their exit slip and leave the room with a verbal discussion. So I would make sure they're all on task, make sure the ADHD student understands and doesn't feel pressured. And yeah, so that's my lesson plan for an ADHD student. Thank you.